Hi everyone, it's Karen and I'm back with my first design team project for the month of November for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. And I hope you'll come along and watch as I show you this beautiful and unique ornament that I have created. And I will leave links to Kim's beautiful Etsy shop, which is currently just on a short holiday mode because of the current postal strike here in Canada, and so hopefully that will be resolved very quickly and she can reopen her shop. But please pop by and you'll see when it is reopened, and you'll be able to purchase some of the beautiful things that I have designed with. And also I'll leave links to the designers in the description box below so that you can go over and see the beautiful, inspiring things that they are creating with the gorgeous goodies that we get in our design team packages from Kim at AngeldreamCraftsKim. Also, she is doing a call out for a guest designer to start in January 2025. And you have to apply by December 10th. And there are details in the Angel Dream Crafts Facebook group and on the Instagram, and links to both of those are in the description box below, so you can pop by and check out the Instagram, start following us. You'll see the details about the design team call, or you can use Facebook, whatever you choose, and join the Facebook group, and you'll see the details then, and you can get in contact with Kim through all the details that are there and all the criteria that's involved, and also a way to contact her if you have any questions. So if you're interested in joining our design team and receiving some beautiful products from her store to design with, then check that information out. And like I said, links will be in the description box below to both the Instagram and the Facebook group, the store, and all the designers. So up in the corner, I'm going to readjust my camera in a minute, are some other ornaments that I have made. And some of them are using products from Kim's shop, and I will be doing some upcoming videos showing you those. Some are for gifts for Christmas, and some are for the Santas for Seniors, a charity that I am involved with. Yeah, you just get a little sneaky peek there. This beautiful angel is all created with Kim's gorgeous little dangle lace that she had in her shop, and this is one I had in my design team package, and her wings are created with the beautiful heart fabric lace that she had in the shop. So yeah, I've been having lots of fun creating some really pretty things, and I'll show a few of them at the end, but I'm going to show you this beauty first. So what I wanted to create was a little box, and I created one last Christmas too. I don't know what it is about Christmas ornaments that just inspire me to do these ones in a box. This one is a little more detailed than last year because, you know, always gotta step it up and try and challenge myself. And so I have created a snippet roll that unfolds from the inside of this box. So let's start with the outside first, because she's decked to the nines. She can be hung by the top of here. This is well secured on here. This is a piece of one of those gorgeous laces Kim sent me. This one she had in cream, and this month I got it in sort of this taupey color. It's beautiful. And I knew right away it would look beautiful with pinks and with this gorgeous applique that I cut all apart. I used the gorgeous pin that she had put on my design team package. I used one of her dangles, and just for interest, I don't want to pull it out of the light, so I better go closer so you can see maybe. I took some extra beads from the applique and I stitched them. I don't think you can see them, but they're stitched around the edge of this dangle piece that she sent me. And it's so pretty, but I just wanted to bring that bit of silvery sparkle, more of it around here. And I had thought of inlaying some little flat back rhinestones, but there I can see I can move that one a little bit. But I decided I wanted to use the beads, so I just hand stitched them with a fine beading thread around the edge of the pearl here. And just one of the many details that you're going to see in this piece. The front here I glued these pieces onto a metal box that I gessoed first with a few coats of gesso, and then I laid all these laces out. The applique, if you want to refer back to it, in my design team package, was a long, beautiful applique with all this beading and everything on it. I cut it all to pieces and I relaid it out on here the way I wanted it. Added in this piece at the top of lace. These pieces are from the pink and gold lace that was in my design team package. I also tucked them all in here and down this way. This pinned on to a piece of doily that I folded to raise it up even a little bit more, so it's got quite a profile on it, quite a statement. And then I laid all the pieces of the applique in different directions, cut out all these little pieces, and it's laid over top of another one of her laces that's underneath here, which you can still see as well. If you look, you will see every bit of what I put on here. I just built off of it and allowed you to still be able to see the underneath. The side, I added on a piece of one of the laces she sent me with the scallop on the edge. I didn't pull the laces out, sorry. You can refer back to my design team package if you want to see the laces before I cut them all up, but you'll see the one had a scalp on this. And then I added this back pearl trim around the edge as well. That's all part of the lid. And then on this side, I added a beautiful white satin bow that I left the tails quite long. Whoever gets this can cut those off if they want. I've singed the edges so that it won't fray. And that's holding the lid on. Because the snippet roll inside has so much depth to it, and you'll see why when we get there, the lid, of course, was popping up. And so I designed it with this tie and with this edging on here so that you can't actually see where it's open. And I'll just give you little peeks. It's open a bit underneath, but you can't see that because of the way I designed it. There, you can see how it pops open a little bit. The lid won't stay down. And on the edge of the lower part of the box, I again gessoed it. So you still can sort of see the underlying color there. The bottom was pink and the lid was actually green. It was part of a toy that my grandson had that he no longer played with, and so I took the box. And it's metal. And then I put 2 rows of this iridescent ribbon on the edge, and that's from my stash. And then on the back, I know you can't see the whole thing, I'll show it to you in a second, but I did that piece of lace again that's on the front, that's also here, and it's on the back. And then I inlaid more of that beautiful applique on there. So there's another look at the box and how it would look. And this would be could be hanging on your tree. I've got lots of shadows. I can't believe the amount of light I have on this, but unfortunately it's still getting shadows. And so then when you undo the ribbon, you get to the surprise inside. And honestly, I mean, I don't usually say too much about my projects because I don't know, I just create and I just love what I do. But this piece turned out like a piece of art. It really has. And although the front was glued, the top was glued with minimal amounts of glue just to keep things in place. I hand stitched the entire inside of the snippet roll. It has all been hand stitched. So you open the lid, and the way that I've put the tie on, I slid the tie underneath this inlaid piece in the lid so that when you tie it, it holds the lid down. And I put a piece of gold fabric in there. That was around one of my design team projects. The silver snowflake netting was also part of one of my design team projects. This is just a digital download, and I've added some stickles to the candy cane, and I've hand stitched some French knots in gold thread on there and added a little gold bow, and then a piece of that pink lace that was in my design team package with the pink flowers and the gold trim. This whole project is the pinks, the golds, the silvers all together. Just, I think they all look beautiful together. So that's the lid. You can see that it's been gessoed inside, but you still see little bits where it wears off, where you do see the underlying, and it's sort of the lid was a bit of a greeny color. Not really obvious. And now I will show you the snippet roll inside. So this is what you will see when you first open the box. And this is the first panel. I did the whole snippet roll is joined together, but it's done in panels. So this is the first little panel. It's again been stitched on that gold fabric that's in the lid. That's from Kim's shop. It also has an overlay of the silver snowflake netting. And then on the back, I also stitched on some little snowflakes that are from my stash. And I did put a little piece of the pink trim at the base there. Some of the stitches are visible. I did a lot with gold thread, very thin gold thread, and also some with 1 or 2 strands of white embroidery floss. And then there is some colored embroidery floss as well. So here's the first panel. And again, it's a little digital download of a little gingerbread house with cookies and the pudding. And along the top of each of them, I have put a piece of lace from Kim's shop, which I've overlaid with hand-stitched. I couched on this pearl string. And couching is just a technique of stitching between the pearls with a stitch to hold it down. And then each of the snowflakes is held on with a single gold bead. So they've been stitched on that way. And then the little snowflakes here, or the little flowers from her pink trim, have been stitched on with gold thread. And I just did like an X or a couple of stitches through the centers of those, and it matches the gold in those. This got stitched on by adding some French knots here, French knots in the middle of here. This is again sort of that couching technique of putting loops. I put loops of thread around the snowflake wherever the arms came out to hold it down. And then again, 2 more snowflakes here with beads in the center, and more stitches here to hold this down, and some stitches down in here in gold thread again, and that held down that entire piece. There is no glue involved. I added some bugle beads and beet seed beads down the side here, and that's your first one. And then it just unfolds out of this tin. And so you're going to see the next one unfolds out. It's the little gingerbread man. The tops of each one is the same. So you get that beautiful lace with the pearl trim stitched on and the snowflakes stitched on. And they're sort of iridescent, and they have the gold bead in the center. And then I've done some stitching on the gingerbread's faces with their smile and their eyes, and that held them down. So this one lifts a bit here. So they're because they're not glued down, they are stitched. And then I added some stitches here. I added the little heart here, and I stitched all the charms that are stitched on. I used a gold sequin and a gold bead to stitch them down with. Stitches inside the flowers. Again, snowflakes with, each of the snowflakes is always stitched on with a gold bead and some gold thread. Here is another charm. The charms are from my stash. This one is from Kim's shop. It was an original. I've had it for a while, stashed away, just holding on to it for the perfect project. And this one is, again, just stitched down with the sequin. I just like the look of the sequin there with the bead on top. I just liked how that looked. You can still see the fabric and the netting, snowflake netting in behind every once in a while. Then the next one is in the tin still, so there she is. And this one is chocolate with marshmallows and a stack of cookies. And again, same, stitching's the same at the top, so I won't repeat myself. A charm placed here and 2 charms here, one little snowman charm and one sleigh. There are little stitches all through the cookies of gold thread that held that down. There is some pink embroidery floss that I used to do the bow, and a little gold bead in the center, and then again a snowflake over top the snowflake that's actually on the digital, and then another little bead in the center of there. and some more bugle beads and seed beads down the side. And then the next ones come out of the tin. And those are the last two. And I would have done more, but I absolutely could not fit a single one more in the tin. I had more cut out, but they just didn't fit and the lid got too high. So that's the max. So this is a little stocking. Again, I have done some embroidery floss stitching at the top with the bows on the gifts and a few French knots here and there to hold that all down. And then I did some stitches on the stocking that were already there on the digital. I just went over top of them with gold thread. And the same topper is at the top here. This one is glued into the bottom of the tin. So the snippet unrolls, but it doesn't actually come out of the tin. Top the same snowflakes, added more of the pink flowers. That you can see the silver netting underneath and the gold fabric. And bugle beads and seed beads, another really pretty snowflake charm, and another snowman here. And then the final one that's right inside the tin is a candle. Put some gold threads on the flame and gold threads and French knots on the bell that's here. And that's what's mainly holding that down to the back of here. And then of course all the stitching over top, like there's stitches through the flowers, remember, so that holds it down there, and more over here, and there's stitch through here that holds this charm on of the stocking, but that also holds down this onto the base. And then here I stitched over it with some bugle beads and seed beads to hold this side down, and then a snowflake here with a bead, and then another little Christmas tree or a tree charm in the corner here, and then a few more snowflakes, and then the top lace with the trim on it. And then I had made the whole roll, and then I measured it as I was going, and then I glued this one in, and then this one is the next one, and then it just folds back into the tin. And you can tell because this is the top of this one, this is the top of the next one, because it's always the same. This one flips against that one to flip in, and then you have your final one, which is the gingerbread house. And I'll just flip it over and I'll show you how I finished some of the back. I left some of the stitches showing. So this is the back. And some of the stitches that had like the pink thread, I didn't really, I mean, I love seeing the stitches like this, but I didn't like seeing the pink thread so much. So you can see it through there. But what I did was I stitched on with some gold thread, I stitched on these pretty snowflakes to go along with the silver snowflakes. Did it with some thought and stitched them on to add more beauty to the back. And then, like I said, she folds up really easily into the tin. She's all been measured, and the charms have been placed in places where they don't in any way cause any problem. But you can see without the lid on, she pops up quite a bit. But then, and that's why I designed the lid the way I did, because you can see that when the lid goes on and you tie her shut, and then the way that I did the lace around the edge of the top of the tin, that all helps for her to stay. I'm just going to tie this bow so that she's finished off again so I can show her one more time to you. I really love a big lush bow. I think on a large Christmas tree, this would be such a statement piece, and it would be so beautiful. And that bow would be a part of that. So there she is again, tied shut. And you can see this dripping of this lace, which is such a pretty lace, part of the trim of this one lace that I had. It comes down over the edge, and I designed it that way so that we wouldn't know there was something inside except for those sort of clues. And I guess I should have showed you the back. So I will untie it again because I forgot to show you. There's the back. So I took the large flower piece from that applique and I added that to the top, and then I cut a couple of spray pieces and flowers, and this one is sort of way it sprays down with the leaves on the end there. And then I just left the rest of that lace showing at the bottom. And although I know some people would think that that's probably wasteful to put that beautiful applique on the back, I really just wanted to finish. I always love to finish all my projects off right down to the final detail, and that includes the backs. One that has purchased anything from me knows that my attention to detail is part of how I create. I will have her for sale. If anyone is interested, you can contact me. My email will be in the description box. I think she would look gorgeous on anyone's tree, and she'd be something that you could have for many years to come, and could unfold it and look at it and see the details of the snippet roll that's inside. That is my gorgeous design team project using the beautiful and amazing pieces from Kim's shop. Her pieces are my inspiration. I had this idea in my mind, but until I received my design team package, I didn't know exactly how I was going to execute this, but it came together because of her beautiful embellishments and appliques and laces and trims. Yeah, they are a total inspiration. So go over and do some shopping as soon as the shop is open. If you want to be on the design team, come and join us and be a guest designer and get some of these products, and you can have so much fun. And come back. I am going to do show you more. I think I'll probably do one on angels. This one has a bell inside. I just love that saying, you know, when a bell rings, an angel gets their wings. And so I use that as to make these beautiful little angels. Also, I'm making, of course, I'm going to do a presentation showing you the ones that I'm making for the Santa's for Seniors. This is a couple of the ones I've made. This is done with just folding music paper, and this happens, these both happen to be vintage music paper just because a friend gave me some old choir hymnals. And then you cut the edge with a decorative scissor, and then I just used some digitals. This is an old piece of an old Christmas card, some tulle, some applique pieces, and oh, they make so pretty. And then I'm working on another, I haven't done one in years, but I'm working on another one of these balls where you use the music paper and you just roll it into the roses. And then I'm also doing some of my satin rolled roses as well. And this will be covered with that, and then a topper on the top. So I'll work on that, and I'll show you more of that. So come back and see what other pretty things that I'm going to be putting up on my channel. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, it's easy, it's free. Just click the button and click for notifications so you know when I upload a new video. And like this video. If you were inspired at all by this creation, give me a like, because it just helps my channel grow. It helps other people see the video and maybe be inspired by it as well. So I thank you all for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now.